Alright, everybody, should be, according to our navigation instrument, and Seven, who's being a very handy co-pilot over there, finding out information that I'm too chicken to look up by myself. Mostly because I don't want to have the anomaly spoiled. But I had this odd feeling that I found this anomaly previously, and 0.17 when I first got the ISA map set, and for that reason I think I know what this anomaly might be. Well, I know now what it is, but I was hoping it would be something glorious. Unfortunately, it's not. So you're not going to hear me scream and yell and moan and complain, although I kind of am inside my head, because I know what's coming. Provided that Kerbin didn't undergo the same treatment that Duna did, and the item in question isn't 200 meters below the surface of the planet. But what we're going to do is, since we're at 2,000 meters or 2 kilometers, we're going to quickly bring ourselves down. But I was right, however, just so everybody knows, it was in this valley. I was just over there, and even at 150 meters, you couldn't see it, and it should be over in this corner. So the ISA map set isn't exactly 100%. It's not, it's not super perfect, but it works for what it is, and so you can't complain about that. At least it shows you where the anomalies are kind of located. That's important, right? All right. So we're coming down nice and gentle-ish. 18.6 meters per second. Not exactly the most gentle landing, but we will slow that down before we hit the ground. I hope. You never know. I am glad that this doesn't use gas. There was a balloon that this was based off of, and the model was actually included in this set. But there was a balloon that this was based off of that used gas. You had to have gas tanks strapped to it, and if you vented gas and then brought gas back in, you had to bring gas back from the vent or from the tank. And I thought, that's pretty interesting, because you can't just bring in air and expect your balloon to float. But at the same time, it adds a bit of fluff that I was not a huge fan of. And so because of that, I kind of like how this one works a little bit better, even though it's not as realistic. But you could do it like a submarine. You could always say they bring gas into the tanks and then release the gas back out of the tank. That is an option. You don't have to just vent the gas out into space, although you have that option. Alright, we are at 200 meters. Still coming down. Going to come down a little hard. 150. Okay, let's go ahead and zero out. Hey, look at that. 70 meters. Okay. Now what I'm looking for should be around here somewhere. Ooh, I'm going to be upset if they did a terrain pass on Kerbin and had the same issue as they do on Duna, because now I can't even use the excuse of sand, sandstorms covering things up. This is just like, no. This is just, no, it can't be. It cannot be like this. It cannot be this way. Okay, I'm going to have to do a little bit of research because, well, no, you know what? We're here. We are here, and before I do research to find out if being here is a complete waste of time, let us at least get our curve. No, why are we going in that direction? We should not. We're flying in this direction. Oh, I reversed my engines. That's why. There we go. Okay, this is going to be a fight with me being silly, trying to forcibly stop myself. Alright, there we go. Alright, so 9.9 meters a second, not terrible. So let's go ahead and land, because we're here. We're here, and if you're here, you might as well land, right? Okay, let's retract this the wrong way. I want to go down by 1 meter, roughly. Yeah, roughly 1 meter. Alright. Ooh. That's really stupid to do that. There we go. Oh, we're at 40 meters. Wow, silly me. Okay, which way are my engines pointed again? Okay, they're normalized, so I should be able to turn in the direction opposite of the one I'm heading and do that. There we go. Alright, so bring us down. You have to land very gently in a balloon, or at least I think you do. I don't know. Maybe you don't. 26, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's not going to be exact because yeah, for whatever reason, going down also makes me go backwards. I think I figured that out. Going down makes me go backwards, so there you go. That's a little better. All right, let's bring it down. Bring it down nice and gentle. And come on, a touchdown. There it is. Okay, we'll stop at about 0.4. Yep. And we'll go ahead and extend our ladder and everything. We'll let Lanner and Melvin get out again. I know they got out just a minute ago, but that was just a rest stop for safety purposes. This is the actual exploration part. This is the important part. So Lanner, go ahead and get out, and Melvin, go ahead and get out. And then I'm going to do a little bit of research, and hopefully we don't find that this whole trip, once again, was a big explorative waste of time. I hope not. So I will see you guys as soon as I've done a little bit of research, maybe contacted Kerbal Base and been like, guys, that reading we got a few years ago, it seems to be missing. Where the hell did it go? And then hopefully they say something nice back, like, you're in the wrong place, not it got buried under a landslide. So we'll come back. Alright everyone, we contacted Kerbal Space Command, and they indicated that for some reason the anomaly in question, though it should be in the area, is not visible. And we could not understand why. They did not say. No landslides have been reported in the area. Everything is as it was during our last reading, so we're not sure. However, because we cannot find this anomaly, and because the readings from the last ISA MapSat pass stated that the anomaly in question was a large rectangular black object, which apparently there are many of on Kerbin, and they have been researched thoroughly, it's not really that important. So because of that, they have retasked us. Yes, they have retasked us to another location. In fact, we have chosen that location up here. Yep, we're heading, it's a long trip. It's a really long trip, but we've already made it this far. It's almost halfway. So even though it's a super long trip to get there, we are going to take the extra time, and we're going to head in that direction because there's no reason to go all the way back to Kerbal Space Command only to turn around and go back again. This trip only took a few hours and only took roughly half a Kerbin day, and because of that, they have enough food and shelter and water, and they haven't tried to, Lanner and Melvin haven't tried to, throttle each other recently. So because of that, they seem pretty okay with their lot in life. And so we're going to head up to 81 by 128. That's going to be a long trip, but we're going to do it. And so, well, we're going to have to get higher than this. I don't want to start moving forward until we actually get higher, but we can increase the speed at which we go higher. There we go. Now, since this is going to be a long trip as well, we're going to try to burn as quickly in that direction as possible. Now, what that means is these thermal units operate more efficiently at higher altitudes, and because of that, we're going to try to get ourselves to max altitude. That's with this balloon, it might be around 9,000 meters, and see how well that functions with our propellers, and see if we can get our speed up as high as we can, so that we can get there super quick, because the Kerbins are like really super excited about this trip, and they think it might be something special. I hope they're right. So okay, we seem to be high enough now, so we'll go ahead and throttle up our engines. So we're only at 2,000 meters now, so we can't really go much faster than, say, quarter speed. Even quarter speed's a little bit too fast for these batteries to charge properly. So here we are. We've started to fly away from this anomaly, which unfortunately cannot be found at the moment by us, but it has been reported to be a monolith of sorts. We've studied the monolith outside of Kerbal Space Program enough. We found monoliths on the moon, we found monoliths here on the ground, and they all appear to be exactly the same. So studying those would be completely pointless. But I do understand that there's something super special up here, something different, something non-monolith in shape. And so we're going to determine and discover what that is. And of course, I will see you guys when we're closer, or when something super awesome happens. So I will see you guys there. Alright everyone, we are here, or wherever here is, in the middle of nowhere out in the the southern end of the polar ice cap, we're going to go ahead and slow our engine down, which will help recharge our battery. We'll also reverse our engine, I think, and maybe spin up our propellers a little bit, and that'll slow us down even more. And then that way we don't have to worry. We are a bit east of our marker, but it's hard to get exact from this high up. We just kind of wanted to be on the dot, so to speak. So let's get that thing spun up a little bit more. It's a little hard to completely stop at this juncture, but we'll do our best to kind of slow ourselves down a little bit. Alright, there we go. So not perfect, but close enough. Let's go ahead and I guess we could drop this. No, we don't want to drop it right now. And there's Minmus, a little white dot. We don't want to drop that right now, but we do want to descend. We're at 7,000 meters. We want to descend. And I think, I don't know how long this is going to take. We'll try 20 meters a second. Might take a little while to actually descend, but as you can see, the sun is now on the other side of Kerbin. So that we're actually getting to this right before nightfall, which is good. I'd hate to miss out on whatever this is because we don't have enough lights. Alright, we're at 7,000 meters. Let's turn off the auto altitude and let's just do this ourselves. And that's a little bit crazy, but that way we can drop more like rocks, I think. And if we drop quickly enough, you'll start to hear the air go by. I think it's actually picking up in the background there. You'll start to hear the air flow by the ship as we're dropping. And if you take a look inside, you can see the ground coming up towards us. No real definition at this altitude, unfortunately. We will have to get closer before that comes up. We're only 200 meters difference between sea level and true altitude, and so that's not bad. We will just have to be careful when watching this to not try to stop at 400 or we'll end up hitting the dirt, I think. Alright, so let's head on down. Let's drop a little bit further. Oh, okay. Yeah, I forgot that the lower you go, the thicker the atmosphere gets, and thereby the air you have vented from your balloon thereby becomes basically becomes enough to hold you up at whatever altitude you're at. So that's why this net force keeps going down. That's fine. We'll have to drop it. I think for this 16% is the amount that keeps it buoyant. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. If that's the case, then we'll have to be careful when we come down so that we can keep it above 16%. Actually, what I can do is I can just turn attitude control back on and then set it to 0, and it'll automatically try to get us back to where we belong, which is awesome. It's an awesome automated system. I like it. It's very intuitive, very easy to use. You just click the button and everything works. Can't complain about that. Okay, we're at 1,100 meters. We're down to 900. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Go ahead and turn that on to... Ooh, it's going to be close. Oh, nice. 136 meters. Okay, very close. We're going to have a look about. Minmus out there. I love how you can see Minmus from here. Okay, so it looks like we have to head a little bit further east, which is, I believe it was this way. So we'll go ahead and spin up. We'll head east a little bit. Actually, we'll head... Whoa. We'll put our engines into the correct direction. I should have shut them off before I did that. Luckily, nothing bad happened. Is that the right direction? Yes. So is it 127 by 81 roughly? Lots of white down here, hard to see everything. We're very close to the ground, so we're going to have to keep a very close eye on our true altitude. And once again, I'm hoping that what we're looking for will be here. I would be very upset if it was not. Let's go ahead and slow ourselves down a little bit. If only because it's safer that way. Whoa, kind of killed our frame rate there a little bit. Let's turn. I am loving this little ship though. I wish more planets had atmosphere so I could use it on other planets, but unfortunately we don't have that option, so just gonna have to look around. Okay, it looks like we're kind of centered. Let's head a little bit farther north, see if it's maybe over this ridge. I think we're high enough to cross the ridge without hitting it. Hard to say. Yeah, true altitude. Okay, we're okay. We're good. We're okay. Kind of scanning about. Lots of white and kind of hard to see through. That is on my screen, I think. Yes, that's the thing I'm pointing at with my mouse. You will not be able to see because it's something on my screen. I was hoping it was a pixel glitch that could point out an anomaly to me, but it was not. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to see that. Yeah, now it's getting in my face and kind of seeing it everywhere. Okay, looks like we're a bit far east of our dot now, so let's go back the other way. We'll kind of scan back this way, I guess. And so we're going to have to kind of go back and forth, scan a little bit here and there, try to find whatever this is, wherever it's at. Yeah, this doesn't do much for turning, unfortunately. You can't do hard turns, but you don't lose much forward speed. So if you notice, we are kind of going sideways a little bit versus the way we're facing, but it will correct itself. It actually auto-corrects pretty well, which is also totally awesome. And if anyone hadn't already noticed, this is made by Hooligan Labs. I'm fairly certain I will have posted that or mentioned it, or someone will have asked me by now. That's fine. It is by Hooligan Labs. Totally awesome mod. I totally love it. I realized that when I was flying this out, everything on this ship minus the Kerbal pod is a mod of some kind. It's the pod is stock, but well, the struts, I guess the struts aren't, and the space tape aren't modded, so all that's not modded. But the engines, the batteries, even the thermal intakes are modded thermal intakes from the original, which are smaller, or thermal heat generators, excuse me. All of that's modded, so it's a complete mod ship. For like one of the first times, it's almost totally complete mod ship. Alright, I should be like right over the top of whatever this is. I'm concerned now. We're going to slow down a little bit. We're only at 145 meters up. I should be able to spot anything that's down here. This ridge is kind of getting to me, so we're going to try to cross the ridge, and we're going to see if whatever we're looking for might be on the other side of the ridge. There. I just have that feeling that that might be the case. I don't know why. I just do. However, I am growing concerned that... Oh, wow, that's an interesting view. You have Minbis over here in the blue, and you have the moon over here in the green, or in brown. That's a nice little split, and then you have the mountain like right in the middle. That's an awesome image. Here, let me do this. That's totally interesting to see that like that. I think it'd be a great screenshot if I really wanted to do that. Okay, I'm gonna kill my engines, which kills our forward movement a little bit. Crud. Still says we're east of the item in question. Excuse me, west of the item in question, which is kind of true, but at the same time, kind of a pain in the butt. Because that right there is north. That's north. So this would be... Wait, is this the right direction? Yeah, this is the right direction. We should... Okay, it says we're headed... Okay, here. We're heading in the right direction. So whatever we're looking for is in this direction. I hope. So we'll kind of head in this direction a little bit further. We'll burn some battery juice for this because we have enough. And hopefully it's worth it. Big ravine there. Is that our shadow, or is that just something on my... No, something on my screen. I really have to clean my screen. I'm seeing all these little anomalies that aren't anomalies. They're bits of gunk on my screen, or dirt or something that's screwing up my vision. Oh no, we are headed in the wrong direction. We are absolutely headed in the wrong direction. What we're looking for is that way. Okay, so I've got us lost, unfortunately. This is going to take a little bit more finagling and looking. I'm hoping that what I'm looking for is here, but who knows? Who knows at this point? With Duna being the way it is now, I'm like super paranoid. Um, but I'll take a look around, and hopefully I won't spot it too close before I can pull you guys in. But still, awesome view. Can't complain about that. If nothing else, we got some awesome views of Kerbin, and that's super important too. So I will see you guys when I spot something. Alright everybody, we got something right there, that little black dot. I'm assuming that's something. I zoomed way out and it was there. I zoomed way in and it was still there. It's not on my screen because when I move my mouse, I can still see it. So I think that's what we're looking for. So that's the direction we're going in now. We're hauling ass right over to that little black dot. I'm hoping it's not a damn monolith. Kerbal Space Command did say that it wasn't monolith in shape, but hey, who knows? Maybe the ice has screwed up their readings or something. But if that's the case, you know, we're gonna head back down there, and Lana and Melvin and I are gonna kick some butt. Is what we're gonna do. All right, so we got about half battery power. We think that's okay to burn up some of that power because it'll regenerate as we get closer. So we're actually gonna throttle up really hardcore. Yeah, we're gonna do 40 meters per second and plus. Ooh, that burns a lot of battery at this level. So yeah, we're at 50 meters per second. Totally awesome. We'll bring it back down a little bit. Getting super excited about going over this way. We're only 170, what, 9 meters from the ground? Oop. Let's get ourselves oriented, right? Let's actually go inside. Let's go inside and see what we can see. Nothing right now, strangely enough. Am I pointing in the right direction? Oh yeah, I'm pointing in the right direction. Okay, we're gonna do this from inside the camera, because right now all I can see is a little black blob. So we're gonna do this from inside where we can see awesomeness happen. We're gonna turn on our lights. There we go, look at that, we can actually see, oh, oh, oh. What the hell is that what I think it is? Whoa, 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 slow down. And reverse throttle. Is that a UFO? Honestly, is that what I'm looking at? Is that an alien spaceship? This is too good to be true. Well, I guess it's time to investigate the non-square object. I guess they were right that it wasn't a square object. It's a round object. It's a UFO object is what it is. Okay. Well, we're okay with that, so let's go ahead and kill our lights now that we've got a peek at it. Let's get ourselves down. So we're going to go ahead and oh, 1 meter. That's all we need. About 1 meter of slack. All right. And then we want to bring ourselves down. It is getting dark out. The sun's about to go down. Actually, the sun has technically already gone down. That is still so pretty over there. Minus on one side, moon on the other. Metaphors everywhere. Metaphors. Look at that. But yeah, this is the important thing. This is what we came to see. We can see the moon anytime. Damn it. That's right. We can see the moon anytime. All right. So we're just gonna kind of come down. I'll zoom in a little bit so we can get some better control. Zooming with all this wire and frame and stuff causes my frame rate to kind of go down when I zoom, but we should be okay. Let's throttle up just a tiny bit. Yeah, even that teeny tiny bit of throttle allows me to slow down, which is awesome. Don't want to throttle up too much. Alright. And then coming down. I do love how balloons control, though. I don't know how big that is, actually. We're 80 some odd meters up. That shouldn't be that big. We could probably move forward a little bit. 60 meters. 50 meters. I mean, for safety's sake, we'd probably want to land a little bit farther away from it, but you know what? We're going to throw caution to the wind a little bit. So let's go ahead and throttle up and just kind of float our happy butts over there. Aliens have no sense of style. Look at that. It's just this little textureless thing. Alright, there we go. 16, 15, 10. I've lost my shadow, so that's okay though. At some point you just have to come down, and our horizontal speed is so slow we don't have to worry about hitting the ground too hard. Oop, there it is. So let's bring that down to, I think 4 is what keeps us on the ground. Yeah, 4 will keep us flat. So there we go. Okay. Let's turn on our light. Nice bright spotlight there. And Milligan's our pilot, so Lander's actually going to be our scientific advisor here. So he's going to be the first one to go and investigate this strange UFO-esque thing that we're currently looking at. So, oh, and he's super excited. Look at him. He's like, caution to the wind. Who needs readings? I don't need no radiation check. I'm going to check this thing out. And he'll turn on his headlamp to get himself some light, because the light is failing. And if this were a horror movie, this would be the perfect time for the alien to pop out and eat him. But Lander's like, I don't care. I do not care. Let's go ahead and close that. We don't need that anymore. So yeah, it looks like we have ourselves our first real anomaly, our first real thing to find. It turns out that it's not one of those boring monoliths that we've found all over the place. It is a starship that apparently is made up of multiple panels and has crashed here a long time ago. And since we're talking about it, since the Kerbals are here and exploring, if you've never watched the 1980s version of The Thing, do so. This is a very big reminder of that particular film. Very awesome psychological drama as well. I don't know about the new one. I will not comment on the new one. I have not seen it, but they added a woman, and that means there's going to be at least one love scene, if not a lot of love interest, or we men must protect the woman, and to me that just kind of ruins it. But watch the 80s version. The original 50s version was interesting, but did not have the psychological effect. In the 50s version, it was a green plant beast that was easily distinguishable from humans, looked a lot like Frankenstein's monster. And then in the 80s version, it was actually a very creeptastic beastie of sorts. Oop. So Launer's apparently performing the scientific method. He's attempting to climb the thing, or testing out its buoyancy or bounciness or something, but apparently it's not climbable. So yeah. Anyway, and in the new one, I don't know. I think they kept the monster from the 80s version, but they got rid of the all men psychological thriller portion in lieu of a man must rescue woman, oh god thing. But anyway, enough movie commentary. I think this has been a long enough flight. It's been about 5 hours for this flight. It was a wonderful flight, a wonderful test, a live test of our great and wonderful balloon here. Totally awesome. Not sure how much more we'll do on Kerbin. Not because it takes a while. It actually takes less time than driving on an atmosphereless planet, because you can time accelerate up to 4 times acceleration. So a 5-hour flight only takes about an hour and a half. Which is nice. It's really, really nice. And with this design, you don't have to worry about things rattling and flying off, because there's no RCS and there's no flaps and nothing like that, and you don't have to make major adjustments. Micro adjustments are enough to get you where you're going. So it's totally awesome for that reason. But I found, when I was looking for whether or not anomalies could be found, if Kerbin had taken the Duna route and gotten an overhaul, that it turns out that most of the anomalies, unfortunately, on Kerbin are monoliths. And I'm not entirely sure why, because originally I thought I had gone down here and seen a monolith, and so I decided to go up here because I thought it was something else, but it turns out this is a monolith too, even though we couldn't find it. And I'm pretty sure this is a monolith, and there's one here, and it said there were 5, so it'd be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So apparently there's 5 monoliths. Someone said 5 monoliths, but there's one other anomaly we could check out, and they said it's in the desert. The topographical map doesn't tell you what desert is. I think there's desert here. I think this is desert, or this is one. It's either this one or this one of these two. But anyway, I don't know if it's worth the flight time to go out there with our Kerbaloon. What did I name the Kerbaloon? I remember I named it something. Oh yeah, the KSA Mushroom King. I do apologize that I did not tell you guys. tell you guys that yeah, it's the Mushroom King, because if you look at the front, it looks like a little guy, and then he's got the mushroom top. So now I'll tell you the name, because that's the kind of guy I am. But anyway, so yeah, I would actually like to thank you all very much for joining me, Lana, and Melgan. Melgan? Yeah, Melgan, on this episode. It's a very long episode of Kerbal Space Adventures and Kerbal Space Program. And from here, if we don't go find that other anomaly, I don't think we're going to, our next destination, yep, we're going to the moon. I love the moon. It's our nearest body. It's Kerbin's nearest body, and all I did was drop off 3 Kerbin there, and then I left it at that. And that's disrespectful to the moon. It needs more love than that, and we're going to give it the love it deserves. So that's going to be our next destination, is the moon. And we're not going to build a base. We have a base there. It's a big enough base for a moon base, but there is something else I want to try. And so I'll delve deeper into that when we get to that part of the episode. So once again, I would like to thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed this short series of Kerbin exploration. I would absolutely say please get these mods, try them out, and if you want to, go check out the anomalies yourself. And that would be totally epic for everybody. So once again, thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you next video.